All right, very excited to welcome this next guest to the show. He is the founder of the Wealth Builders Institute. You can find out all about Todd at wealthbuildersinstitute.com. And we welcome Mr. Todd Rampe to the show for the very first time. Todd Costa, Mary Bird Godwin, Greg Todorov, welcome. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Good. You've got all those charts and stuff behind you, which kind of leads me to believe you know what you're talking about when it comes to the stock market for meatheads like myself. Todd, how did you get going with the Wealth Builders Institute? What was the genesis behind coming up with this?
I started trading in 1998. I was a full-time trader for about 15 years. Wealth Builders Institute happened by accident. It was one of those typical stories where you tell one person, they tell two, they tell four, and next thing you know, people are saying, hey, show me how to do this.
Right.
I never set out to do this. I never wanted to do this, but it just kind of evolved, blossomed into this, and we've probably got about, I don't know, 4,000 to 5,000 students now.
Wow.
And we teach a very simple way of following the professional traders, the smart money.
Okay.
So we don't complicate things and we just keep it simple.
So, and I love the word simple because I am a simpleton when it comes to things like this. I mean, is there a misconception in your world of the stock market and trading and things like this that, man, you got to have deep pockets. You have to have gone to the Wharton School of Business if you're going to be successful at it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Total misconception, as you said. The average person that knocks on our door, our average student, probably 70 to 75% of them have never traded before. You know, it's funny, you know, it doesn't matter where I am, people say, hey, what do you do? And I have this standard answer. I say, listen, I teach people how to make money trading stock options from home. And they always say the same thing. Hey, I've always wanted to do that.
Sure.
And I then say, well, why haven't you? They just think it's too complicated. It's not. A lot of the trading gurus out there try and make it seem complicated, in my opinion, because they want to be able to not take any responsibility when you fail. That's the bottom line.
Todd Rampe is the founder of the Wealth Builders Institute. Find out all about what he has going on at wealthbuildersinstitute.com.
So, Todd, tell me a little bit more about Wealth Builders Institute specifically. It's online classes, is that what you're saying? And so I could just do it from my home, like on Zoom.
You can. We have a few live classes each week for the students that come on board, but the bulk of the learning is through video modules. So you can access them 24/7, do it at your own pace.
Oh, wow.
Todd, what's one of the pitfalls that people might have when it comes to starting day trading or starting to dabble in the stock market? Because, you know, obviously we all want to hit that Google or that Apple stock the first time out, buy a ton of it and have it just skyrocket and right off into the sunset in our jet to our castle over in Scotland. What's one of those giant pitfalls to avoid?
Everyone wants to hit a home run, and that's not the key to this business. The key to this business is singles and doubles. Have, you know, several opportunities throughout the day. Get in, get out before the smart money changes the direction again so you don't get hurt. So the number one pitfall is people get greedy. There's two emotions in trading, fear and greed. They get greedy and they turn into gamblers right after they make a mistake. They think, you know, hey, I just did something. I shouldn't have done that. I got in too soon. I got in too late. I'm chasing the caboose, whatever that, you know, however you want to describe it. And then they feel like they have to get back at the market and get that money back. And they just make the same mistake over and over again until, unfortunately, you know, I don't mean to sound negative with trading, but it's real. Most people can't do this, and they can't do it because they can't get a handle on their emotions. If they treat it like a business and follow the rules, do well.
If I go to wealthbuildersinstitute.com and I sign up, what's the first thing you hit me with? What's the first thing that you use to open my eyes to the world of day trading, the stock market, and being smart, fiscally smart with what I'm going to do with you?
The first thing we do is I have you talk with one of my program advisors, because I truly want to make sure that we are a good fit. There's nothing worse than getting a phone call from someone that enrolled with us a week or two later saying, I don't know what I got myself into. This is over my head. I shouldn't have done it. So we take the time, about 45 minutes to an hour, to talk with you, answer the questions that are important to you, to make sure that you will not go off the rails and become one of those sad statistics.
Yeah, that's what I'm absolutely hoping for as well. Go ahead,
So
man.
Todd, who are the demographic then that you are trying to reach? I mean, is this like, I was just talking early in the show, I have an 18-year-old daughter now. She's an adult and she's going to be wanting to learn this stuff on her own. Is it young people out of high school and college? Is it people that are a little bit more mature with their life? Or who are, most of the students that sign up with you?
And what do they call it in marketing? The avatar. The avatar is probably 50, 55 plus male, but it's getting younger and younger. I want to say, and I'm kind of biting my tongue saying this, but I want to say that kids are getting smarter. Younger people are getting smarter these days. And I also want to say something, since you mentioned your daughter. I firmly believe that women make better traders than men. Now, sometimes I say this and it gets me in the but
Mic drop.
Hold on.
Todd.
Now, here's why. Because typically, men think logically and women think emotionally. But when you put them in front of a chart, it reverses. The men turn into emotional wrecks and the women are laser focused. I've seen it over and over again. I met my wife 24 years ago, and at the time she didn't speak English. I taught her how to trade. She knew how to trade before she spoke English. And many times sitting there trading with me, I would do something. Even back then, I think I'm disciplined, and I am, but we're not all 100% disciplined, let's face it. And so I would do something and, she'd smack me on the shoulder and say, what are you doing? I'm like, well, and I realized, holy moly, I got to keep it clean, right?
Yeah.
My emotions are getting the best of me. And she just would look at me like, what's wrong with you? This is what we're supposed to do. And it made me realize, and I thought, you know what, why don't you trade the account? And she doesn't. She gave up a long time ago. She'd rather be a non-working housewife. I'll say that.
Good for her. Todd Rampe is the founder of the Wealth Builders Institute. Find out all about them at wealthbuildersinstitute.com. Todd, we got about a minute left. What's the future for the Wealth Builders Institute? Is it just to continue to grow, continue to teach, and get as many people as possible, not only into stock market and trading, but also having fun, financial success as well?
Definitely. I want to grow. I mean, this sounds a little crazy, but I never really took the business too seriously. I'm like, I've been a trader. I've always made money, done well. And I looked at the business like, if it works, it works. But we actually do very well, which tells me that there's a strong, a tremendous need for it out there. So I want to be able to kind of spread the gospel of simple trading.
Dude, we got to get you back on. This is right up our alley here on the show. Wealthbuildersinstitute.com is the website. Todd Rampe is the founder. Todd, super excited you came on the show today. Like I said, we'll get you back on and get more in depth into day trading as well as we continue right here on the Big Biz Show.